So you've been on a very long diet, maybe in stages, and you've worked on things and you're getting to the point where things are really hitting the metal. It's kind of taking over your life and things are getting a bit intense. That's where I can come in and I can help you. Hey, I'm Alfie. So on this channel, we're calling that stage 3. We're specifically looking at ways of keeping your diet true to yourself and look for easy wins, medium wins, compromising, understanding where you maybe are not failing yourself, but where your hang-ups and life preferences may be causing a little bit of issues with your diets. Those are stage 1 and stage 2. Stage 3 is basically the same as stage 2, where we're going to be compromising more and more on what we're eating in our day-to-day, trying our best to keep things that keep us happy in our diet, in the structure of the way we eat. But this is where things are starting to get a bit intense. You're going to start to move towards more normal weight or to the low end of normal weight. Don't go beyond that, please. Not my recommendation at all. At this point, you're going to have to be very on top of what you're doing, almost to a neurotic level. To be clear, I want to be very clear, stage 3 is where we're going a bit too far. It's where we're going a bit further than our mental or our physical is really capable of. And it's where it's more for your ego and our ego, because I did it myself. Well, hello Fia, you're gonna make editing this a nightmare. Thank you. See, when you're trying to go through this stage, you're gonna notice more and more great things about your body. See, as you lose weight, every pound and every kilo is more noticeable than the last. And we're starting to get into the realm where our body just has a lot less on it. So every pound more further lost is a lot more noticeable. You're going to see a lot of changes in your body. I don't know if any of these will show up because I've had a very, very big eating weekend. But things like your muscles will start to pop. You'll start to get lines in your muscles as you move them. Your veins. There's a point around the end of stage 2, at the end of overweight and normal, at the high end of normal weight, where you can start to see your veins. As you go further and further down, you're gonna start to get, if you've ever played video games, like a skin where your veins will start being 3D and they'll start wrapping around things and you'll see them in loads of places, from your arms, wrists especially, lower abs. I've got some of my calves. I can see where they would pop up on my thighs if I did more leg days. And it can come across a bit weird. You're gonna have some weeks you might even notice lumps of fat disappear. For instance, I had one week where I was a bit conscious about the fact that I still had love handles. I still had that pad of fat at the bottom of your lower back. And then the next week it was basically gone. You're going to start to notice a bit more medium things that aren't quite as fun, where you have a bit more loose skin than you kind of wish you had. That's just a side effect of obesity. You've got to maintain and hold water like someone who's a lot bigger than you are at this point. So for instance, I regularly go up and down 5 kilograms in a week because that is water, and my weekday meals tend to make me lose water. So I know for a fact I lose 5 to 6 kilos of water. Your skin will be a bit looser. Some parts will be just loose skin, and it's hard to know, is this fat, is this loose skin? There's no real way of telling. My best heuristic, my best way is when you pinch it, it will start to feel a bit less doughy and a bit more velvety. That's starting to be loose skin. And you will get it everywhere, even in places where it doesn't look like fat or loose skin. You might be able to pinch it and like pull it, and it will be a lot further than it probably should be. Then you're going to start to get into the bad things, and the further and further down you go, the more the bad things will start to creep in. You see, we've kept or done our best to keep our habits and our preferences happy, and stage 3 is where we're really pressing those, but there's going to be some core ones that you maybe not going to be budging on, and that's fine, but that doesn't mean what we're doing and the way we're approaching it is ideal or healthy, like in the true sense. It's healthier than where we were perhaps, but mentally probably not. You're going to start to get a bit neurotic about your food and your calories. You're going to be starting to choose things based on 10 calories difference. 10 calories difference makes no fucking difference. I am telling you, 10 calories difference across a year is about a pound. You will not notice about a pound across a year because you will be walking and there's so much variance that it's pointless to worry about. But you will start to care about it. Your feeling of hunger will start to change. You'll start to feel less hungry in your stomach and more depleted, starving across your whole body. And that will be true in your mind, because even thinking takes calories. Your body's trying to conserve calories that it doesn't even have to give anymore because you've lost most of them. Thinking, you'll start to get a bit of brain fog. It's surprising how illegal legal driving can feel sometimes on this date. Be careful. And you will start to get depressed from it because it's taken so much of your life, and it's also fucking with your hormones because you're not eating as much fat because you're not eating as many calories as you should be, so your hormones are going to start getting weird. For guys, this will be a lot of depression, anxiety. For women, you're going to start noticing effects in your period and stuff, and depression and anxiety. Congrats. And the further and further down you go, the more this will be true. You're going to have to start to forgive yourself in stage 3 because I've always recommended you go to the gym to gain muscle, and stage 2 added cardio to increase calorie output. You're going to start to hit your limits because you're just not inputting enough for your energy to output. And that's just going to get more and more true. Doesn't mean you're losing muscle, that's an overhyped thing online, but it does mean you just can't output the same strength or for the same amount of time as you used to. And that's just not something you can get around while you're eating in such a deficit at an already starting to get normal weight. And if you've added muscle, BMI is going to start being off for you. Not to a crazy degree, still useful, but BMI's boundary for lower weight, i.e. underweight, is going to be off for you. You might be underweight and start to look emaciated. Your face will start to get sunken in, sometimes in a good way, but there's a limit. And you will see in your muscles will start to get a bit flatter. You will start to see lines you really shouldn't see, like the muscles in your wrist will get a bit more defined in bad ways. You'll start to see tendons. That's not okay. That's weird. No, but you will. It's a very crazy kind of lots of good parts and lots of bad parts, and a lot of bad parts that will ruin your life and sort of dominate you. You will be focused on food to a degree that you thought was, even as an obese person, crazy. Every single moment will start to feel like cardio, as in you will be sitting there, sitting still, doing nothing, and you will feel like your body is working. Some people get insomnia. I never really had that, to be fair. I slept like a baby, but I was also drinking shit tons of caffeine, and I was still sleeping like a baby and waking up way too fucking early, rather than never being able to go to sleep, which is what some people get. You'll get blood pressure issues. Standing up, you might faint. I never had that. Came very fucking close a couple of times, especially at the gym. Hopefully no one noticed. It's all gonna start. You're pushing your body beyond what you're giving it. And you're at a point now where your body has no savings to cover for you. And that's what stage 3 is kind of taking your ego beyond what you should be doing. And in some ways it's good because it's sort of a full reset. And I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. I'm not going to not recommend it, but I'm also not recommending it. It's a choice that's up to you and what you want out of things. But just be aware that this is going to be difficult and it's scary, because just for the same reason that going down will slowly, the more you go down, you notice the previous pound more, right? Going up's the same way. It's scary. Because I gained 4 or 5 kilos of water weight, and I know for a fact it's water weight, I will get bloated face. I have it kind of a bit right now, but I've been to the gym today already. And I'll lose muscle definition because I'll look a bit fatter. The lines will disappear. The veins will hide themselves as if they're bigger. And I will be generally a bigger person. 4 to 5 kilos is a lot. But then I kind of just got to trust that when I get to Friday, I'm basically maybe a quarter of a pound, half a pound higher than I was last Friday. And generally that's true, but it's very, very scary because it's very, very noticeable. And it's very easy to fall into the trap of, have I just undone months and weeks and years of work, right? So be aware that it almost traps you because everything is more noticeable at this point. Everything that you thought was good everything that you thought was a good reward as you went down becomes a trap on the way out. And you probably will reach a point where you should go up if you keep going through stage 3. And that's okay. There's a point where we need to realize that it's time. This can be a year-long, multi-year long process, but there is a point where you have to realize it's time for an exit ramp. And a ramp is the way I think you should approach it. I would also think for yourself how much of what you're going through is looking for a reward at the end of the day. Because if you're obese, there's probably a good chance you have, or if you were obese, there's probably a good chance you have reward systems built into food. You're probably looking forward to it ending so that you can have a gorge, so that you can eat a lot. And that's fine and normal. I'm not going to judge you for that. I certainly can't judge you for that. Trust me. But if you're going to do that, I would say try to diet a week or 2 more than you wanted to, just to get a little bit further so that when you binge it's a little bit covered, and then as you binge over time you'll reach a point where food gets a bit boring again, and that's, I think, more fine. And if you go down, as you go down, when you're bigger, I don't know about other people, but I could eat spaghetti which is full of carbs, or I could eat a sandwich which is full of carbs, and I wouldn't really notice the difference in my body between that and a steak, or that and a yogurt, right? But technically carbs are for energy, right? They should be giving you energy. When you're bigger, you just don't have to do energy management. When you're lighter, as you lose weight, as you lose fat, you will start to notice energy management becoming a part of your life. And what I will say is use that knowledge, and use all the knowledge as you exit your diet to know what you're doing. So when you have ate a lot, go to the gym, use it. Right? Turn it, or go out, build exercise and movement more into your day-to-day life. You should have been doing this anyway. As you go down through stage 2, you can use your willpower to push and push and push. Make your body better, walk further, faster. Go to the gym and push more. Maybe you won't be progressing in the gym for muscles, but you'll be able to push yourself to try. But through stage 3, your willpower is a lot more using your willpower to be you, because you want to basically sit there as a zombie. And it will affect even your relationships. You'll turn into an asshole because thinking is calories. Someone will come to you with a problem and maybe you'll go through the motions, or someone will come to you with an argument, and the quickest way to save calories there is to shut it down by being an asshole. You'll turn into a bitch. Stage 3 is bad. I don't know what to tell you. It's great in some ways for the reset, but it's great when you finish it. So when you eat, finally, when you have that energy, use it. Go to the gym, spend it, work movement into your day-to-day life. Try cardio and exercises that you haven't done before, like swimming. Go for team sports. Work that more in. Try to use your body and enjoy it, because that you'll realize more and more that being able to move like this is a privilege. A privilege that even you didn't have before, and it's one you've worked for, so you might as well enjoy it. Being lighter is way more than aesthetics, and having muscle is way more than aesthetics. It functions and helps you function in your day-to-day life and lets you enjoy things that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. So make sure to do that. Anyway, so the exit ramp is scary, and I'll try and work in some videos around, because it's very easy as you've gone through this to maybe have immersed yourself into a subculture. Like the protein boys who go to the gym and spend way too much time thinking about how much protein they eat, or the fiber people, the hippy dippy people who spend way too much time focusing on how much fiber they're in, or the low calorie cooks who have spent the last 3 years recreating every single fucking type of fast food donut, and then they don't taste as good as they look. They do look very convincing on the videos though, I'll give them that. And then there's finally, you've probably spent last however long focused on being neurotic on things. You're gonna have to be to go through stage 3, especially from where we've come from. And in some ways, when you remember how big you've gotten, you might start to realize, how did that happen? If you finish, pay attention to what you're choosing when you have more freedom. Try to ramp it out. Pay attention to what you do when you have the ability to do it. Because if you go to McDonald's, KFC, and you get their 1,000 calories Sunday McFlurry milkshake, and then perhaps you need to consciously recognize that fact. And maybe you have to come up with rules about how you approach food now. Because you should have freedom. Don't limit yourself anymore. That's something you're gonna have to learn to stop doing. But that doesn't mean to go full hog ham and actually undo work. You can build in even indulgent amount of food. Just have some rules around it. And those rules are going to be, yet again, like stage 1 and stage 2, up to you to choose. For instance, eating a curry or something like that, or spaghetti bolognese, after I've ate the mince and the interesting part, and even the heavily covered parts of the rice or whatever, when it's just spaghetti, leave it. If the food I'm eating isn't something I particularly like, stop it. You know? Be happy about the wins. Keep the idea of calories in your head, because they do matter, right? So when you go through and eat your food, if you are choosing well, try and keep that in. If you're choosing the sweet corn rather than the mashed potato McFlurry, whatever, then that's great. That'll help keep things more low. But you now also have the tools. You should be able to, if you follow this as I've told you to, with the cardio and the muscle building, have the tools to output more energy as well. So you have, and the tools from low calorie cooking stuff to eat less when you want in a filling manner. So you also have the tools to manage things now that you're a bit low. And be less scared. I've noticed as I've gone through this, although it's very scary with the water weight, actual increase is not as much as it initially looks. It really isn't. And the amount of neuroticism towards small amounts of calories that I used to have, it was definitely neuroticism, because it just doesn't matter. I've ate multiple dinners some of these weekends, and I'm still basically just a pound or 2 without the water heavier than I was. Alright, so be scared. It's natural to be scared, but don't let it control you. Anyway, I'm going to call it there for now. If there's anything you want more information on, by all means comment. If any of the information in this 3-part series has helped you, please like and subscribe. I know it's been very vague and there's a lot of things I've left up to you, but that really is the best way to approach it. Understanding yourself is the best way to succeed in life and at the goals you have.